Now, from the University of Okoboji, it's Okoboji Broadcast with Jeff Thee.
Welcome to Okoboji Broadcast, everybody. I'm Jeff Thee. We're coming to you again from the Dickens County Museum. It's History Wednesday, so you know where I'm going to be.
And we're so glad, Jeff.
Are you so glad that
we're so glad.
Pop in with two cameras or three cameras?
Yeah. We go way back, don't we? Yeah.
At least 30 seconds.
Of course, I got Mary Dreyer, the director here, and you've got a very special guest here with you
I
today.
do. Look who walked in the door today. This is my good friend Steve Dyson, whose grandfather was the last depot agent who actually lived here with his family. And
that was in the upstairs quarters.
Upstairs, yeah. Okay. And he had a cottage on Spirit Lake.
Okay.
So during the summer he would stay there and then come in and commute, but winter time and all that, he would stay here.
Stay here, when trains were coming in and so forth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And Jeff is one of the few people who've actually been upstairs in the depot. So
and you've seen the piano.
I have seen the piano. I have traversed those very narrow stairs going upstairs there. Yes.
Would you share the story of the piano?
I don't know the whole story. I know getting it in to the upstairs there, it was quite a deal. Basically what they'd do is take out that wall entirely, the east wall there, and then they had a walk and tackle, lift it up and put it in there, and then they had to rebuild that wall. And it's still there because there's no way you can get it down the stairs. No way you can get it down the stairs.
I was going to say, wouldn't it have been easier just to leave it on the ground floor?
Yeah, but they lived upstairs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I hadn't thought about that before. They could have given concerts downstairs in the waiting room.
I guess. I don't know. But there may have been a railroad regulation. Who knows?
Yeah, that moment has passed. It's up there. It's going to stay.
And it's a great piano. I play it every once in a while I'm up there. And it's...
Sounds like it's still tuned, more or less.
It's in pretty good tune.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not heated there. It's not air conditioned. It's certainly. I mean, it is definitely not a climate controlled space. But it's a great piano.
Yeah, and the location is good too, because you don't have little kids with sticky fingers going boom, 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 boom.
Well, Steve, now you said, was it you and your brother were the last couple to live up there?
We're the last remaining people to sleep up there.
Okay.
Because obviously my grandfather's gone, my dad's gone, and the whole family's gone, and we're the only ones. And of course, we were little at the time. He's 4 years behind me, so it'd been like when I was 8 and he'd be 4 and that type of thing. But
right now, heating, and I know there's no air conditioning. What in the wintertime? How did you keep it warm up there?
Well, I think there was some heat up there. I'm not sure. I'm not. I mean, when you're 8 years old, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
But I never felt cold or chilly up there because we do normally. We'd live there in the family room, and then we'd eat. And so I didn't think of It's not like we were bundled up or anything.
Yeah. How many total rooms up there? I can't remember. Is there
the living room and 2 bedrooms.
Okay.
And a kitchen.
And a kitchen.
And a tiny bath.
And a tiny bath.
Very tiny bath.
You put it in 1 foot at a time.
It's so fun to someone who actually lived in these different eras and so forth. And Mary, you just get all sorts of people.
Oh, today has been an exceptional day.
Yeah.
It's been a nutty day. Even for Wednesday, it's been a nutty Wednesday. Usually Wednesdays are kind of our big days, but today has just been incredible, which makes it even a little more, eye-opening, as I've been in Chicago the last 5 days or so, and kind of my own.
For the riots?
Well, if you call it babysitting with 2 grandkids, sort of. But to have all these people here this morning, we started out with someone coming to interview us about the Ella Williams story and the photographs there, and we had a great conversation there. And Mark Mayer came in, and he was a professional photographer, and so he added to that story. And then we had people start coming for our Way Back When Wednesdays, and Roger Carr was here. He winters in Florida, and he came back unexpectedly. And I looked up, and here's my friend Steve Dyson and his fine wife Paulette.
Yeah, we drove all the way from Des Moines to use her bathroom.
I've been in Des Moines. They have facilities down there.
Oh, really? I'll have to check that out.
Just Google it. You'll Google it. So Des Moines is home for you now, then?
Urbandale, yeah.
Urbandale, yeah. They're on the west side.
Yep.
Yeah.
Been there for, over 30 years, I think it is.
Yeah, but we had no idea that Steve and Paulette were coming today, so it's a red letter day, and we've got a couple here from Illinois who came and are super interested in the museum and all the history of the area. They've been to several of the 13 museums in Dickinson County, and we were able to tell them about the story of the Spirit Lake Massacre, so they're going to go back to the Abby Gardner cabin after they're done here. So yeah, just all sorts of cool stuff is happening.
Now, about the depots?
Yes.
Spirit Lake has it over Des Moines because the Milwaukee Depot in Des Moines is no longer there. Spirit Lakes is still here.
Yes.
Available to look.
Yeah, and in its original location and with its original stuff. And we have a hotline to somebody who really knows about the depot.
Oh, who is it? I never talked to him.
That would be Steve Dyson.
I was going to ask you, Steve, is it fun to share with people who have no idea what it would have been like at that time and living up there and the trains coming in?
Yeah, it's we were, of course, I'm going back to remembering, like an 8-year-old or 10, because that was, but it was fun because we could always make our own fun.
Yeah.
Like one thing we like to do is go out and in the switches out there, get the ballast and put it in there so that they couldn't open the switch,
Okay, I got to ask you this, Steve. I've never asked you this.
What?
Did your grandpa let you put pennies on the tracks?
No, we never did that.
You never did that?
No, we were more interested in derailing trains.
Were you ever successful?
What, in derailing?
Yeah.
No. Somehow magically the ballast disappeared at train time.
Somebody was double checking.
Yeah. And of course, the other thing we didn't count on too is that bay window there, that's where Grandpa worked.
Oh.
And the switch was right directly out there, so
did one of you divert his attention, the other one go out and work on the ballast?
we weren't that smart.
No.
We're 8 years old.
You do diversions.
Yeah. Thought comes to it and say, hey, let's do this.
More of a frontal attack.
A question I've had, and I haven't asked you before, Steve, when the train was coming in, did this building shake? Was it really loud? The tracks were so close to it.
No, not really. I don't recall that at all. And we actually rode the train from here down to Milford several times.
Okay.
And I actually drove the train.
Tell us about it, Steve.
I don't know if you're familiar with the locomotive engineers. They have a little lever that you pull back and add or lose horsepower.
Right.
And so I was, again, 8 years old. So I'm sitting on the engineer's lap. So he says, okay, put your hand on the throttle. So I did. He says, now don't move it.
No pressure.
And then we also, we did this. I think the statute of limitations are out now. But we actually rode in the caboose a lot too, because there's 5 of us. So you got Dad and Mom, and then the three boys at that time.
Right.
So we wouldn't all fit up into the engine. And of course, Dad, being a locomotive engineer at one time, he was up there supervising. Yeah. So we had to trade off in the caboose or up there. Mom was always in the caboose because she didn't want to have anything to do with that.
Right.
Because she's afraid that if she was up there and derailed, it'd be her fault.
So So when you were in the caboose, could you sit in the high seats up above that had the windows?
No. The Milwaukee had bay windows, so it was on. The kind of bubbles on the side instead of the top.
So
basically, you're looking out forward to the window.
Yeah. Did you ever use the bathroom in the caboose?
No.
No? Okay, you got to answer.
Grandpa always said, go to the bathroom before you get on the train.
Okay, I've got to ask this question too. My parents, when I was a kid, Sunday afternoons we'd either go to the train yards and count the trains going by, or we would go and walk on the tracks. This is crazy, but we would walk on the tracks. And my mom always wanted us to stay on the rails so we weren't in between because the toilets were emptied on the rails.
Okay, true.
Okay.
Old school. Nowadays, they incinerate things and all that.
Right, yeah.
But back in the day, they really did go down.
It was just, you flush it and there's a flapper that's down on the ground.
Oh my goodness.
You have just now solved the mystery for me, Steve.
Do you want to check your shoes before you go walking the tracks?
Yeah.
I do not.
Well, we would walk on, but what we would do is go from tie to tie.
Right.
And so it's a little bit faster than a regular walk, but not like running.
Right.
And then it was a game, and if we missed the tie, then we had to start over. Hey, you got a big playground here. You just utilize everything.
Exactly right.
Okay, so are there other stories you can tell about this as a playground for an 8-year-old kid?
The thing I remember the most about the downstairs is the telegraph, because it's always going, and there was 2 lines in here. Because one of them was the line that was came up from Des Moines up here, and they would give orders and all that over there. The other one was the main line going through Spencer, because they shared from I don't know what the first town east of Spencer is, but Dickens, I think it is.
Yeah.
From there to Spencer, they shared trackage.
Okay. Interesting.
So you're always like,
yeah.
And I remember one time at Scrap, I said, what's that? He says, it's people talking. And I'm thinking, wow, that's kind of a weird way of talking. So I didn't explore that at all.
They got the job done. Yeah.
But it was constant, I'm thinking. And of course he was oblivious to it because he's heard it all that. Sure. So there's probably something in there that, if it was specifically for Spirit Lake, they'd probably say, Spirit Lake agent or something like that. And
right.
he'd pick it up.
Something similar, maybe Morse code or something, that they understood.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They could try it now.
It was all Morse code, because it was
Yep. Oh, wonderful. Well, this has been fun. You bring in the best guests.
You guys, I knew you'd get a hoot out of each
I
other.
think when I was a kid and we would walk the trestle in Algona.
The trestle?
The trestle. Not a good idea. I'm sorry, Mom.
Yeah. Big thing is make sure there's no trains in the area.
Yeah, if you heard a whistle, get off of the trestle.
But a couple of the other memories I had too is we actually helped the railroaders turn locomotives up in the turntable, because just south of the garage up there, they had a turntable, and what it was is it was on like a circular rail, and they had a big old maybe like 10 by 4 by 4 plank that they used, and it caught into the center of it, and they just walk around it.
Loosen the gears and
and we got to do that, and it's surprising how easy it was to do that. Because obviously you do it with a locomotive on there, and we did
Tons.
that. Yeah.
To turn,
Yeah, and so we'd be up there, 2 of us, little guys. Hey, yeah, we're doing this. And of course, the railroad guy in the back he's the one that's doing it. Yeah, they didn't trust us that much.
But you had the thrill of it anyway.
Oh yeah, it was kind of neat. It just, that's not something a whole lot of people get to do. So.
Oh. Absolutely. But isn't there a romanticism with train travel? There's something about it that just has different than being on an airplane, certainly different than being in a car and traveling by train. I always thought it was so cool.
Well, yeah, and of course my dad worked for the Union Pacific, so he had a pass. So we had a family pass, and we go to LA for Disneyland and all these type of things. And of course we have a little sleeper in there, and you go to bed, and you hear the that puts you to sleep.
Yeah, good, get you to sleep sound. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just, I mean, and I don't know, like I said, if a Milwaukee agent came up here doing some of this stuff, they probably say, hey, no. But, we pretty much had full use, and we never got into a caboose or locomotive that was parked or anything like that. We said, no, we're not.
Right.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is they used to have some shacks up at the north end at the end of the line. That's where the crews would stay overnight. So we got in there and got to know them and all that type of thing. Watch them cook their beans in the can.
And I understand that poker was part of the...
That was on the caboose.
Oh, okay.
There's a picture of that too. Mm-hmm. On that one, there's a book about the railroads and the parks, and there's pictures of my grandpa and they're playing poker with the guys.
Oh, how cool!
Penny poker or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you ever run into any hobos that were? No, never did. Okay.
No, not that I'm aware of.
Right.
But, they may have jumped off before they get up into this area because I don't think they want to see a lot of people or anything.
Yeah.
I wonder if they still have the hobo convention over
In Britt?
Britt, yes.
I think they do.
Do they?
I'm not sure they even have a railroad through there anymore. I don't know. Kind of hard to have a hobo. Because that was the deal. Because they'd always hop on the train to get there.
Yeah, exactly. So great stories, great early childhood for you, Steve. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and it's just railroading was in my blood. I worked for the Northwestern and UP after I graduated, and had worked on maintenance for rail cars, all that. So it just kind of in the blood.
Yeah.
My two other brothers didn't have that blood, so
We're glad that you have it.
We're glad
they were adopted, I guess.
That's a heck of a time to find that out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, thank you for sharing your stories with us.
Thank you,
no
Steve.
problem. Anytime.
And making it relatable, standing right here, right where you were living as a kid and everything. And Mary, I wanted to ask you, when do you get back to summer hours?
We are going back to summer hours on the Tuesday after Memorial Day.
Okay.
Our summer hours will be Tuesday through Saturday, noon to 4, except Wednesdays we open at 10 so that you can come to Way Back Wednesdays.
Okay, and Way Back Wednesdays will be continuing
Oh,
here.
absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely.
That's a silly question.
That's a silly question.
All right, well, Mary, Steve, thank you for being here with us today. I appreciate the wonderful stories and the wonderful people.
I do have one question.
Okay.
Do I have the opportunity to edit this before it goes out?
Yeah, that's a big no.
disclaimer? Oh no! Everything I said down.
I'm on a timeline. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeff.
Absolutely, Steve.
Great.
Yeah, thank you, Mary.
Yeah.
We want to thank you for the time here talking the train life, and we thank you for watching us right here on Okoboji Broadcast. Okoboji Broadcast from the studios at historic Arnold's Park Amusement Park is brought to you in part by the Scott Troutman State Farm Agency in Spirit Lake, Quest Wealth Management, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, advisor Jan Spielman, AJ Spielman, and Erica Wachholz. The headquarters of the University of Okoboji is at the Three Sons, open Monday through Saturday 10 to 5 and Sunday from 10 to 4. Bank Midwest, dream big, plan wisely, live well. Lakes Regional Healthcare and Avera Partner. Ruthven Locker at the Lake, where carnivores are welcome on Hill Avenue in Spirit Lake. Beck Engineering in Spirit Lake. Be Radiant Laser Skin Studio in the Okoboji Plaza in Okoboji.